Hiya. My name's Danielle Rhoda, and I'm an illustrator, animator, and I like to call myself a maker of things as well. I am originally from Poland, but I'm based in Manchester, although currently I'm actually in Barcelona for a few months, just working on some new bits. Um, so today I'm going to be catching up with you guys a little bit about my journey so far since the last Speak Up event, which was in March 2020, I think, right before the first lockdown. And since then, a lot of things have happened. But maybe I'll talk a little bit more about my work first. As you can see, I like to draw characters, a lot of people, but I do try to capture them in a slightly playful way. I like to use color and different textures. And I've done work for magazines as well as editorial sort of commercial work as well. And I'm playing around with different materials like woodcuts and ceramics. So yeah. So right after the last Speak Up event, we literally did go into lockdown maybe within like a week, I want to say. I don't remember exactly. I mean, we all know it's been like a blur now. But I basically found myself without a job. And a lot of time on my hands as well, and I needed to find a way to make money. I think the only thing at the time that I could think of was to try and have a go at freelancing. And I actually reached out to York Law magazine, Daisy, and sort of asked if I can be a bit of an intern and do some bits for her. So those were actually a bit more graphic design based than illustration, which is something that I also enjoyed. And it was a great way to sort of get into making to brief more than just, by myself. But yeah, I think I was just trying to do like a lot of different things and use my time productively whilst trying to get a job as well in lockdown, which was impossible. And I thought to make a card or some greetings cards, because I always really wanted to try those. I always really wanted to make some cards, but I think whenever I've tried, they've never felt sort of proper to me, like they weren't finished. So I had to go and just turned a really simple, very, very simple illustration like this one here into a greetings card and printed like a few copies on printer.com and decided to post it. Had it up on my Etsy for a bit. And it got a lot of really good feedback. So obviously that's always encouraging. And since then, I've been sort of pursuing that more. Another thing that came out of the first lockdown is like collaborations. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Studio Desk, but it's run by Catherine. Well, it's like a collective between Catherine Steinbacher and Emily Down. Both, I think, have graduated from RCA Animation. And they came up with this brilliant idea of getting together like lots of different animators from around the world and just to submit like 10-second clips of their experience during lockdown. And they wanted to make it like a positive thing, obviously, because it was such a sad time. And the idea was to just capture something that made you feel good in that time. So yeah, I came up with this because I really love cooking, and it was like my moment of happiness when I got to cook. And then actually really nicely from that, I met a girl called Lillian, and she's a writer director based in New York, and now we're collaborating on a bigger animation as well. So yeah, that started to sort of give me more purpose. I think what I'm trying to say is that like I tried to look for something that gave me a bit of purpose in time when, you know, I was sort of just left to my own devices. And so working on developing my portfolio and like doing this little animation was the first time I've approached animation since graduating. And yeah, it felt really good to finish something as well. And then a lot of things have happened. That's in summer. So quite a few months in, like I've been doing quite a bit of work, and it's nice that reached out and they did a really nice feature on me, as well as at the same time I got to speak to Katie on Creative Boom, which was like a really great opportunity for both, obviously for to get my work shown, and from that I started to receive some clients, which was just, I mean, incredible, because yeah, all of a sudden I was able to sit down and actually feel like I was doing work, working. So here are some clients that I've done work for since everything sort of happened. Yeah, so some of these are people I've reached out to. Some of them are commissions that got sent to me, or I've been recommended for a job from a previous client. And yeah, I felt super, I mean, I still do. I feel super grateful, especially for those recommendations, because you just never really know where the next job might come from. But yeah, I think I would really like to talk about a couple of the projects. So the New York Times, of course, when they reached out, that was just, I was mind blown. And we've done a really simple illustration. I felt really sort of grateful that I got to illustrate for this topic, what to say when people tell you the coronavirus fears, because obviously it was, I mean, it still is the major subject, and I wanted to draw, I think, for a story that like had a bit of depth, meant something to people. So yeah, I was really happy with this commission. And then I got approached by a Great Big Story, which, for those who are not familiar, used to be this a bit like BuzzFeed, where they would post a lot of curated like videos and clips on different covering different subjects, and they reached out to me during the whole Black Lives Matter movement in summer, to participate in like a bit of a group collaboration on animation. But the film is called What I Wish You Knew, and it's basically a almost like it's a snippet of different voices of Black people, and talking about their experiences of being Black. and I got to do 3 clips for it, so 3 different people, and it was one of the best animation experiences I've had to this date. It's actually led on to me receiving more animation work, which I'm doing right now. And yeah, again, I think quite a bit of my work felt quite playful, like I mentioned before, but it almost felt like maybe there wasn't as much depth to it. So then I think I started to feeling a little bit like an imposter because I was thinking, well, all this stuff is going on in the world and it all is so heavy. And here I am like doing little funny illustrations. And I think I really wanted to do something that would almost matter or like help convey a bigger story. So when they reached out to me, that was like a dream project. And yeah, and also from the technical sort of point of view, again, before this, I've not actually done such extensive animation work. I think they reached out to me because I've done some shorter GIFs and like that studio desk animation as well. So I was again super grateful for the opportunity because they just trusted sort of with the fact that I could do it, and I was given a lot of creative freedom. And yeah, please do check it out on my website. All the 3 clips are there, and then I think you can still find it the full piece on via CNN, because unfortunately Great Big Story have now shut down. But oops. So I think sort of towards the end of the year, I was contacted by it gets a bit confusing. I got contacted by a lady from this organization called Urban Learners, and I think they organized a lot of sort of educational programs for children, especially in London. And every year, the City of London organized this art trail called Sculpture in the City, where they get a collection of different artworks from various artists and lend them from galleries as well as straight directly from the artists and display them out in the city, which is a great way for people to get sort of acquainted with contemporary art and sort of look at the city, especially the City of London area, which is the central sort of part. People get to sort of, walk around the art and experience the city in a different way. Because of lockdown, unfortunately, the new set of artworks for that year couldn't be put up. So sort of the previous exhibition stayed, and all the events and everything around it was cancelled. So to sort of keep children connected and still give them a bit of an experience, they've reached out to me to design a digital learning resource, and that is like an activities book for both families and schools, as well as some little sort of introductory animations to different subjects covered. And again, there's a lot more sort of to talk about with this project, and you can find that on my website again, or by going straight to Sculpture in the City and choosing Learn from the tab. I've done animations, I've done spot illustrations, as well as some full-sized illustrations, and it's a really sweet project. I really enjoyed it. And then sort of in the same theme of having my work sort of be part of something bigger, or be part of the city. Around the same time, there was the art trail in Manchester, which you guys might all be familiar with as well, organized by Be in the City. And it was called 50 Windows of Creativity. And because I've previously done some work for People's History Museum, they've put me forward for doing a piece again, and to also have it displayed there, which I was super happy about, because working with them was super nice. And the previous banner that I've done for them was still up, so it was really kind of incredible to be able to see both of my works right there in the city centre. And again, it was very much just do what you want to do. And I've always fancied doing like a piece about Manchester. So this one here I call A Day in Manchester. And it was really nice as well, because it's been a really long time since I've drawn from life, which is what my practice used to be. But now, like during lockdown, I was working, of course, from my home and sort of just pictures. So I decided to just take the tram in one day and draw from life. And so all these characters are actually people that I saw around St. Peter's Square during just one day. So yeah, it feels quite kind of like documentary, has a documentary style vibe to it, I think. Yeah, but also a bit playful. I tried. And then, so yeah, like I mentioned, the cards to begin with, I like continued doing the cards as well throughout the year. It was really sort of important to me, but also it just felt like a totally different thing, and having like a real life finished thing at the end that people can buy and have in their homes was like such a nice feeling. And I'm a sucker for gold foil, so I tried to include that as much as I could in all of my cards. But yeah, I'm still going with the cards, and now I'm happy to say like I'm selling online as well, because I had a shop, but I had to close it over summer. Being away, like all my stock is still in Manchester, but I'm hoping to get back into it this winter. But now I'm on Thoughtful, Fi, as well as Paperboy London, and yeah, like I really enjoy doing cards, and also I want to start reaching out to independent shops, which I did start doing, but yeah, there's things that I want to do with cards. So currently, like I said, I'm in Barcelona, and I came for a few months, and it's been like a bit of a wild ride, because I think I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed doing the card side of things in the online shop. So now I'm sort of left to sort of just draw. And I think I've been trying to sort of rethink my style. Like I've not drawn for a super long time before coming here as well. Like it's been a bit of a struggle. But now I think I'm finding, or at least trying to loosen up a little bit more. So maybe not quite finding my voice back, but I'm still like doing work. But yeah, it's just like a lot looser, and these are just some examples. yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yeah.